Welcome, friends of Japanese Prince. Welcome for another edition of the video productions by my little company, Ortolino.com. I'm Dieter and I'm the owner of the Ortolino company, and we sell Japanese prints in weekly online auctions. And today we've prepared two videos. It's me plus my wonderful assistants Sophie and Lucas right now behind the camera. And we've prepared two videos because we want to show you 8 prints, selected prints from the current auction, and we divided it into 2 parts. Well, the first one we call it classic 19th century and early 20th century, and the other one will be modern, and this one is now the classic part. Well, and we start with a classic, classical artist. An American once explained it to me, and then I got it, but in the meantime I forgot it. So classical artist Ando Hiroshige, and let me show that wonderful print. It's from one of the many Tokaido series created by Ando Hiroshige during his lifetime. So he created roughly, if I remember it right, so roughly 30 series of the 53 stations of the Tokaido. The Tokaido, an old road system in old medieval Japan, between Edo, today Tokyo, and Kyoto, the residence of the emperor. Well, and this print is from the so-called Gyosho Tokaido series. Why Gyosho? Gyosho, there you see, this is the title inscription here, and this title is kept in the style of a calligraphy, and therefore Gyosho Tokaido. The print shows the station of Mitsuke, and it shows ferry boats on the Tenyu River. By the way, here, this Japanese character is not the name of the ship. This is actually the stamp of the publisher. The whole series was published between 1841 and 1844, so altogether over 3 years. Yeah, that takes a while. 53 stations, and this series almost consists of 55 prints. 2 more, one for the destination Kyoto and one for the start in Edo. The condition of this print is overall pretty good. And it was printed during the Edo period. The Edo period ended in 1868, but when precisely for Japanese prints, old Japanese prints, you hardly ever can say that. Japanese prints, you must know, is not an exact science. If you're an experienced collector, you know that. If you're a newcomer, please remember that sentence. Japanese prints is not a precise science. Okay, last price, respectively, because this is an auction, I have to talk of the reserve. The reserve is the minimum bid you have to place to get it. And the reserve is $1,200, and it already has a bid currently of $1,200, so you have to outbid the current winner. From Ando Hiroshige, also called Hiroshige I, let's make a small step to his successor, Hiroshi Utagawa II. He was born in 1829 and died in 1869. And he began as a student, as a pupil of the great master Ando Hiroshige. Later, Ando Hiroshige adopted him, and Hiroshige II, as we call him now, then married Otatsu, an adopted daughter of Ando Hiroshige. However, the marriage was not a lucky one. Hiroshige II overall was a hapless guy well, his wife pretty soon dumped him in favor of another former student of Ando Hiroshige. That was all after the death of the great master Ando Hiroshige. And then Hiroshige II moved to Yokohama, and well, from there on, okay, financially it went down with him, and he died in poverty. There are reports during the last years of his life he had to paint lanterns and tea boxes for export in order to make a modest living. But now let me show you this print by Hiroshige II. It's from a series called Views of Famous Places in Edo, or Edo Meishotsue in Bavarian style English. And it shows the Hachiman temple in Fukagawa, and was published in 1863. A word about the appreciation of Hiroshige II. Well, his personal life was unhappy, yeah? But as an artist, as a successor, he was in no way minor to his masters, to his master Ando Hiroshige, and his works are appreciated, and especially his winter scenes, and this is one. They are rare and they are famous, and collectors pay high prices in the market for the winter scenes, but also others by Hiroshi Utagawa II. Well, the condition of this print, good to very good, but please read in detail. My wife Yori makes wonderful descriptions, and of course I cannot go here during these videos into these details. The reserve of this print, US $600, and currently it doesn't have a bid yet, but you still have 1 day to go, and I'm sure you cannot be so ignorant and let that print go. No. From Hiroshige Ando and Hiroshige II, we now move to Konisara Utagawa. He was specialized in prints showing scenes or actors from the kabuki theater, the popular Japanese theater form. And this one is a rare early print by Konisara showing a scene from a kabuki performance. It was published in 1829. Konisara, by the way, born 1786 and died in 1865. And this scene is from the kabuki play Nanae Yaesaki Wake Sakura. Sorry for my Bavarian style Japanese, and it was performed at the Ichimura Theater in March of 1829. And it shows a kabuki actor, his name Bando Minosuke, and he plays a female role. You must know, until today actually, all roles for the kabuki theater are played by men. It's off limits for female actors, and to follow the tradition, they've kept that until today. Yeah, and you see him, he performs this dance with the drum. Here, that's the drum and a so-called ogi, a fan, and sitting in a boat. The condition of this print, pretty good actually, reserved $280. Well, the last print for this video, that is by Cozen Ohara, born 1877 and he died in 1945. And this print belongs to the so-called Shinhanga art movement, an art movement popular during the, or let's say active, because it's still popular among collectors, but active during the first half of the 20th century. And Cozen Ohara, he was the master of Kacho-e. Again, a special term, sorry, but I'm going to explain it. Kacho-e, well, that stands for images of birds and flowers. It's an old genre from Japanese and Chinese art, birds and flowers, but not only birds, well, I can say all kind of animals. Let's take a little bit a closer look at it. It shows two mallards in front of what looks an unidentified flying object, but I guess most probably it's the moon. Okay, let's assume it's the moon. And yeah, something else. There, take a look at the feathers, the white. That's not white color. That's called, again, a Japanese special term, gofun, gofun. It's a special powder. It's not a color, a powder. And it was applied for upper scale luxury prints. The condition of this print, no problems to remark whatsoever. And the reserve, $360. And now something important. I nearly forgot to mention it. This print is from the famous collection of the deceased dealer and collector Robert O. Muller. He deceased in 2003, and we've been so lucky at Ortolino to get consignments since then directly from the estate of Robert O. Muller. But now this source is coming to an end. This huge collection is now coming to an end, and we are now offering the last copies available. And don't think that they are minor in quality. No, by no means. And this is now really a chance, take it. And especially when you're a new collector, such a print from the Muller collection and from the Shinhanga art movement without condition problems, that is a good buy, especially for an unexperienced collector, because the prices for Shinhanga art prints have gone up steadily over the years, and with this print there is no issue connected like a condition problem. Today, my friends, is February 27 of 2021, and you have one more day to bid on these wonderful 4 prints, plus roughly 160 more. The Ortolino auctions, they always end on Sunday, 8 p.m., our local time, which is Central European time. Well, we are located in southern Germany in the state of Bavaria, and we are usually during the change of the summer saving time, it may vary slightly by 1 hour, but usually, and right now we are 6 hours ahead of you guys in Boston, New York, or Philadelphia. So I would be pleased to see you in our auctions, and of course I would be pleased to see you for our next video. Thanks for watching, and please take care.